Before I get into the very short intro, this is me reacting to Apollo interview. So if you want to watch the entire interview without my interruption, just simply go to Carlos King channel. Type Carlos King name in YouTube search and go and watch the entire interview uninterrupted and all of that. I'm reacting, okay? I will never just post somebody else's content and just let the entire content play, because then what's the point? Just go to Carlos channel and watch it. I'm reacting. All right. So if you are someone who are not here for the interruptions, go to Carlos King channel. But for those who are here for my commentary and my deep dive and all of that, thank you all for the love and support. I will be jumping in and out. So let's get into this short intro and into what Apollo had to say about his ex-wife, Phaedra Parks. What's up, my Finna loves? It's Miss Finna D coming to you all from Finna Entertainment News. So yesterday I posted, well, I will say last night / early morning, because it was after 12 a.m. when I posted. Most of you are probably sleeping, getting ready for work. So thank you all for waking up, seeing the notification and clicking on the video and supporting that video. But last night, early morning, I posted a video with Apollo. He did an interview with Carlos King, and he was very dismissive as it relates to, the lie that he told on Kenya Moore. So if you missed that video, please click the very first link in the description below to watch that video. Now, I did promise that I was going to come back because he was calling his ex-wife Phaedra Parks out on her lies and different things and just telling her to be authentic and be herself. Basically, what he expressed about Kenya Moore and when he first met her and why he liked her.
Were you attracted to Kenya when you met her?
I thought that she was really a dope person, like super cool. When we first met, I think it was with Walter at the Grand Prix. That was the very first time that I met her. And, I've seen her around and stuff like that, but this is my first time, interacting. What I really liked about her, I thought that she just had a good soul, a good person, based on, just super funny. And I wasn't, in a flirty way. I was like, oh, I could vibe with that. She seemed like one of the authentic people that if we have to film with people and all this, it could be a jokey, a cool situation.
Authentic, okay? Someone that is going to keep it real on camera, basically, in summary. And in other words, is what he's saying. And that's what Kenya Moore has done and maintained this entire time. But other people, including Apollo and his ex-wife, had to lie on people for a storyline, reach for a storyline, and were never their true, authentic selves. Even being given a second chance on Married to Medicine. And what did she expose about her life? It was nothing. She gave absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Very reserved. I understand you lied on Candy. You were fired for years. You're back, so you're trying to, be low key. But even before what she did to Candy, she's always been this very sneaky type of person. And if you watch the video I referenced about last night, then you will hear Apollo expose her that she was sending inappropriate pictures and text messages to another man while they were still married. But yet, putting her focus on Kenya Moore and running with that lie when all she was doing was projecting. Anyways, let's stay focused. It's still on current topics. So let's get into what he had to say about Phaedra Parks. I will not be playing everything he said, just this part because he mentioned Married to Medicine. And she's currently on Married to Medicine, so that's why I'm mentioning this part. Let's get into it.
So you think this whole confusion with the due date had a little bit to do with the fact that, listen, she comes from being a pastor's kid, and she's also private. We know that.
I think it's the privacy. I don't think that she really thought that question through. It just hit her, and then she was like, okay, well, what are my parents going to think? Or this, that. Maybe it just hit her. And then, some people just say things and then it's kind of too late. And that's what I spoke to her about, prior to going on to the Married to Medicine and all that situation, right? Because I was like, why do you said something? Because literally I called her and I was like, this is one of the reasons why I really don't want to go on here, right? I don't mind, but I don't want to. Why do you dig a hole for yourself?
Is it when she told people y'all met in high school?
No, it's like she said something about the reason why I wasn't at Aiden's birthday is because I was out of town. Dude, why didn't you just tell the truth and say we've had multiple birthday parties? That was for the TV. That was for you guys.
Yeah.
That was like, what are you doing? But see, when you do that, then it causes more scrutiny. It causes for people to say, well, how is that when I just seen him over here?
Yeah.
You know?
Which is why you had to address it with Toya on the reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so I just think that she finds herself in these situations. Yeah, it's okay to protect certain things, but you don't have to protect everything. So it's okay to be authentic. It's okay to let people, you've already been, on TV over 10 years? Ups and downs. Husband went to prison. You had your kids. Then somebody said, you had a kid out of... You're not going to be discredited as a person. Shit happens. Everybody's human. You're entitled to a mistake. You should. Like right now, I'm trying to get out of a mistake. The stuff that hit on TMZ, it's a mistake. Shit happens.
Exactly. I'm not here for him sometimes, but great point. They already had a party that had nothing to do with Bravo or Married to Medicine. If she admitted, then it would look like she's doing it for the camera and for a storyline, but that's exactly what you are doing. So just say, listen, we already had one party, and this is just an extra party. Apollo was at the other one. He's not going to be at this one, and that's it. You had a party with all of your people there, and then you had a TV party. But admitting to that will then expose what we already know, that even though, it's called reality TV, it's not reality most of the time. Because most of you reach for storylines, create fake storylines, and all of that. And so that's the reason why he's saying, you are lying to these people and saying I'm out of town, but I'm not out of town. Why can't you just be honest? Also, based on their custody agreement and how well they're doing with co-parenting, it's also possible that she had her own party and he had his own separate party, and it wasn't a joint situation. And if you expose that, then that exposed some type of friction. Because why are the both of you having separate parties? Are the both of you not mature enough to put your differences aside, your personal issues aside, and come together and have one big party, an amazing moment for your child? Why you have to be separate? So to avoid all of the what ifs and all of these different things, let me just go ahead and lie. But then stop taking these people money and just live your private and personal life. Stop coming on these people TV shows just to lie on other people. Create storylines as you destroy other people's lives, but then attempt to be guarded and private and protect your own issue you got going on. Stop taking these people money and just continue to work your 150 jobs. And back to Apollo real quick. Just because you made a point doesn't mean I'm not going to go in on you as well. I'm not going to go in. Y'all know I do my best to not take these things that deep. But you are right there with your ex-wife. And that's the reason why the two of you got together in the first place. The both of you lie a lot, okay? Don't care who lies you're messing up or ruining, as long as the checks keep flowing, like you admitted in that video I posted last night about Kenya Moore. So you ain't no different, okay? And that's why the both of you ended up together. But I also feel like he was more transparent than his wife, ex-wife, even though he's a liar. But I feel like he was on mute a lot because Phaedra probably told him, don't speak, let me handle it. I'm the wife in this, I'm the housewife. I will do all the talking, I will do everything unless I ask you to speak. Because if she's the only one talking, then she's able to control the lies, control the narrative, and control the situation. But if he's talking and she's talking and the stories are not matching up, then you start to see the cracks in their marriage. You start to see the cracks in their storylines and all of that. But if one person is controlling that narrative and you are just there being this supportive spouse, then it makes it look like everything is perfect when everything wasn't perfect. So I think that's also the reason why he was on mute a lot. He even said it in the last video I did, that one of the producers said to him, do you even speak? Do you talk?
That's not, because if you recall, like the first year, right? I was there, but I wasn't really there.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't until like maybe something happened at one of the reunions where it was like, I think Steven he was back there and he was like, said something to me, like something like, you can talk or something like that. He was making a joke and was like, dude, why don't you express yourself? Like, well, how come you just always stay dormant? He was like, man, you did really well. Like, why aren't you speaking? And I was just like, well, you know, fuck it, I don't. All right, cool. I'll do better next time. Yes, sir. Okay. And so I started coming out of my shell a little more.
And then the first time he decided to speak up and stand up for himself was by lying on Kenya. Even though Kenya did not lie on him, his ego got bruised and Kenya basically exposed him. And of course, eventually we got to see the cracks in their marriage and it led to, divorce. And of course, the man was on his way to prison anyway, so.
But I am with you. I think the thing with Phaedra that I think us as the audience is like, well, even watching Married to Medicine, and when she said, oh, I met Apollo in high school. And it's like, we know y'all have a cute little age difference. So I think it's stuff like that bothers people because it's like, you ain't got to say all that. Like, you're a grown-ass woman. It wasn't like Apollo was 14 and you were 18.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
The same way all of the lies and twister stories and dragging on the Dr. G situation was unnecessary because Phaedra lies a lot. And her dates were going to overlap because when Apollo came from prison the first time, he said Phaedra was engaged, but he knew that they had unfinished business. So even though she had a man, he didn't care. So who knows if Phaedra was allegedly still with that man when she was messing with Apollo and then chose Apollo. Then before he went away, she was texting somebody else and all of that.
That season, so season 7 is when you got sentenced and you were on the way of going to jail. During that season is when you discovered that your wife, speaking of texting, was texting another man that was labeled Mr. Chocolate. How did you find that out? Did you go through her phone too?
See, yes, I went through her phone. She used to safeguard her phone like it was like, I don't know, man, kind of like they do down at the Federal Reserve, you know? I see the phone with the light on. That means the phone's open. She goes to the other room. I take the phone, I go upstairs. I go in Dylan's room, I hide off in there, and I'm going through the phone. And I see all these messages with her and the guy, flirting, her sending him these pictures and talking about, I mean, it's all, they showed it all. It's all online, how she's had a couple drinks, she's feeling a certain way, and all just inappropriate shit. And how she can't wait for me to leave, so I guess that they can do whatever they're doing. I mean, hell, she texted, not me, And I don't know if you remember, I did that interview not too far from here. And then at that point, I came downstairs and I was pissed off. But at the same time, there's an agenda. So I told her mom, I said a couple things to her mom. Her mom was in disbelief, said some things to her.
So like I said in the last video, when I used to use the word projecting a lot in all of these videos, old ones, when it was in the trenches defending Kenya Moore back then, the people who have so much to say and haters and just coming after other people, they are normally the ones doing exactly what they're accusing other people of, okay? The people who place themselves on pedestals and drag other people's name through the mud, they are the ones hiding something. So while she was over here doing her dirt, but yet talking about Kenya, exactly. But anyways, overall, Kenya was vindicated, persevered through all of the hot mess, and she is still standing. And like I've always said, Kenya Moore was Kenya Moore before Bravo or the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and she will continue to be the amazing Kenya Moore after. No one is saying that Kenya is a saint, but I'm just glad that after all of these years of defending her and having her back, she continues to be vindicated. I'm wishing all of you well, and take care. Thank you all for your love and support. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and leave this video a thumbs up. Also turn on notifications so when I do post, you're aware that I posted. And I will see you all in the comment section. Remember to always have the God bless attitude, which is being positive at all times and seeing the good in every situation. Have a great day, guys. God bless.